Hello and a warm welcome to Federal special program Capital Beat. These days, when you pick up the newspaper, you don't know what is really going to happen or what could be the new turn as far as the developments within Trinamool Congress are concerned. The developments are changing so quickly that you don't know which story will become new or which will become stale and old. Till yesterday evening, we were seeing Abhishek Banerjee facing a 6-hour interrogation in the forgery case. And this morning, ANI comes out with a list of 19 Lok Sabha MPs. Let's put out that list because that list is important. It carries names of 19 MPs. Now, these are the MPs who've crossed over. They are forming a rebel faction of their own, and they are saying that they are not part of NDA, but they will provide outside support. Top name is Kakoli, then Shatabdi, Bapi, then you have Dr. Sharmila Sarkar, Prasoon Bandopadhyay, and likewise, all the 19 names are doing the rounds. They apparently will be meeting Om Birla, the Lok Sabha Speaker, on Monday. Now, Kalyan Banerjee yesterday had said, and we also discussed it at 4 p.m. yesterday, that he was almost giving an ultimatum to Mamata Banerjee that she has to choose between him and Abhishek Banerjee. So from there arises the question that will Mamata Banerjee distance Abhishek from her to protect her party? But the most important thing, and the latest development, of course, is this curious case of the Trinamool Congress list of 19 MPs who are crossing over. Many of them, and Kirti Azad today has given a bite to ANI saying that he is that what this is what he has said. He's saying it's pressure, it's tactics, it's threat, which is playing on all these MPs. He also took the name of Nishikant Dubey, and that's where the entire conspiracy is being hatched. He also went on to say that it was one of the informers within Nishikant Dubey's house who's informing Kirti Azad about the latest developments. So there's a lot of play of pressure, intimidation, tactics, money, all these things he's pointing out. So what is really happening? How many MPs are finally forming the rebel faction of Trinamool, and what will Mamta do? That is the million-dollar question. Joining me this evening is Shikha Mukherjee, senior journalist and political commentator. Thank you so much for joining. We have Samir Purkastha, senior journalist from the Federal. Thank you so much for joining. We have Chandan Ghosh, who's spokesperson of the West Bengal Congress. Thank you so much for joining. And just to get the perspective, I'll begin with Samir. Samir, what is this curious case of the 19 TMC MPs list which has come out, which is leaked by the ANI?
At the outset, I'd like to give a caveat as to we don't know the veracity of this list, because these are just it's a selective list, a selective leak, and that also only few pages were leaked. So whether this is part of the letters written to the speaker, or it is part of another letter, or we don't know. Like where, so this is one issue. But having said that, we are not denying that there is a rebellion within the TMC. That rebellion is genuine, and how many ultimately suicide is still in the realms of speculation. So this list, I don't want to say much about this list until it's official, because none of the rebel groups officially released this thing, any list, neither in the this thing officially in the assembly, the rebel groups in the assembly legislature party, nor of the parliamentary party. They came out with the letter that was supposedly submitted to the speaker of the assembly or speaker of the parliamentary party. So this rebellion thing is still, how many numbers, and these are all conjectures going on. We'll have to wait and see how many finally cross sides.
The factors which are no, Samir, what are the factors which are playing around as far as this defection is concerned? Like what Kirti has pointed out today, there's a lot of pressure. He's saying that the houses of the leaders, they are ransacked, they are getting threat calls. Kirti himself said that he's getting threat calls. What does it mean? That there are extraneous factors which are playing around the defection and rather the formation of this rebel camp of the TMC.
So I was coming to that. See, this rebellion. Of course, all these rebel leaders, they are saying that it's organic and spontaneous. But look at chronology of events. First, Ritobroto had a chance meeting with Subhendu Adhikari in Bonga Bhavan in New Delhi, and after few days we saw this rebellion in the West Bengal this TMC legislature party within the West Bengal Assembly, and then parliamentary this rebellion. So the meeting itself took place at the residence of BJP senior BJP leader and minister in the Narendra Modi government, Bhupender Yadav's residence, in the presence of West Bengal Chief Minister Subhendu Adhikari. So there is no this thing ambiguity as to who is behind this rebellion, who is actually pulling string and orchestrating it. And if you see the background of many of these rebel leaders, they themselves are tainted. There are pending cases against them. Suddenly they are trying to project themselves as clean, holier than thou kind of attitude. But look at their background, and until the results were out, look at their statesmen posturing. Now, for instance, Sayani Ghosh. Uh, Look at during the campaigning after Abhishek Banerjee and Mamata Banerjee, she was the most vocal TMC leaders against BJP. That time she didn't realize all these rots within the TMC. This rot is not, this rot has not taken place overnight. The TMC's the TMC's culture of cut money, syndicate raj, it's going on since the day it came to the power. First, it was Sarda scam, then Narda scam. Why they were silent at that time? Many of these leaders who are now claiming to be so clean and Harishchandra, many of them were themselves named in this either in the Sarda scam or in Narda scam. Subsequently, the other leaders, there were their name figured in recruitment scams. So some were the BJP themselves accused some of these rebel leaders of orchestrating violence against the BJP supporters and functionaries after the 2021 assembly elections. So my question is, see, if TMC tomorrow survive or not, it doesn't matter to a common citizen of Bengal. How does it matter to me as a common citizen of Bengal? Whether TMC remains there or not, it doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is what kind of opposition we are going to see in the future. Because in a democratic democracy, this democratic accountability has to be there, and for that we need a strong opposition, and not only strong opposition but a principled opposition.
Right.
What so this rebellion within the TMC is weakening this opposition space. That is more worrying. And then the nature of this is a blatant this thing unideological front. What is their ideology? What is their political agenda? Except for
All right. Let
talking
me let
about
right.
Abhishek Banerjee,
Right. Let me
labeling
go to
charges against Abhishek
right.
Banerjee.
Let me go to Shika now. Shika, how do you view the development since last evening? What we saw, Abhishek Banerjee facing a 6-hour interrogation in the forgery case. In the afternoon, there was Kalyan Banerjee who said that Didi has to choose between me or Abhishek. Now, are we seeing the developments which are somewhere heading to a situation where Mamata Banerjee is left with an option to choose between her TMC as the party or Abhishek Banerjee? Are you sensing those kind of developments within the party?
I don't know what to sense because my sensory perceptions are overloaded. frankly, there's so much noise and so much sensation happening around me that I wouldn't trust my senses at all. But what I am seeing are certain facts. The facts are as follows. One, that there are these uncertain number of parliamentarians who, according to them, had already given, according to their so-called leader, whether she is the leader or not, we don't know, because nobody has actually said that she is their leader. She is merely the spokesperson of a group. No one has said that she is the leader. Kakuli Ghosh Dostidar claimed to have delivered a letter to the Speaker's office with all the names. And now it seems that the same letter is going to be lodged with the Speaker only on Monday, the 15th. Not the day she said, but on Monday, the 15th. And that rather raises a question. Then what was this letter and who were these people that we are talking about? Because apparently we were talking about signatories to a letter declaring that we are the majority, Kakoli Ghosh Dostidar is the chief whip, and we do not recognize Kalyan Banerjee as the chief whip. So we're talking about a letter which actually there was no letter. Because if a letter is going to be submitted on the 15th, then we were talking on the basis of a story which was told to us, which we never saw, which we never could confirm, and we've been discussing something which is, who knows what it was, maybe a bit of fiction. However, so that's problem number one. The second problem is of these of all these so-called, I mean, this is a coup, it's not a rebellion. Let's be very clear what's happening here. This is a coup in the parliamentary party. There is a coup, separate coup, in the assembly, legislature party, in the assembly. The coup in the parliamentary party is with the NDA. That is what the statement said. Kakoli Ghosh Dostidar said it. The lunch meeting at Bhupendra Yadav's house, where Shubhendu Adhikari turned up, also confirms it. And now they're saying, no, we are going to function as an independent group. I mean, come on, either you are with the NDA or you're not with the NDA. What is this independent group fiction that you've come up with between the time that you claim that you had already done it and now? So things are cooking, but what exactly is being cooked, we don't know. The second thing is, here is this legislature party in Calcutta, which says we are in the opposition because Ritubrata Banerjee, who's leading it, is the acknowledged leader of the opposition of the coupists. So that's one thing. The third issue is Abhishek Banerjee. Now, was the coup about Abhishek Banerjee? I'm not so sure. That's not what they said in their letter. That's not what they said about what was their purpose. And if the coup is not about Abhishek Banerjee, then what is the coup about? Then why Abhishek Banerjee? Abhishek Banerjee becomes a separate narrative. Why is Abhishek Banerjee necessary? Because it kind of justifies their actions of organizing the coup. They're not willing to take on Mamata Banerjee directly, obviously, because they want to cling on to the Trinamool Congress name.
No, but why do you think BJP is not taking on Mamata Banerjee directly? Rather, they are interrogating Abhishek Banerjee. Why do you think so?
See, the question is not why. Nobody wants to touch Mamata Banerjee. Why is it that nobody wants to touch Mamata Banerjee?
No,
that is a question that Kakuli Ghosh Dostidar ought to answer, not me. I know why they're not touching her.
No, Shikha, the question is, and this question I think needs to be asked, that are they scared of Mamata Banerjee despite the huge win they have got?
Of course, she's too big.
No. The second question is, are they afraid to touch her because she's a woman? She will carry all the sympathy. The people see her as a
no. That's all nonsense. That's all nonsense. She is an iconic leader. touch her, and the reaction that you might find is can snowball and can get out of control. There are two ways of two things that I have that are
Samir
likely.
also
No,
wanted
no,
to say
hang
something.
on, Nilu, let me finish. One, touch Mamata Banerjee, and in fact, there is a tsunami of reaction which says, thank God you've touched her, thank God she's out of the way. We're thrilled, and there are celebrations out of the streets. Instead of what they probably fear is a reverse tsunami, which is that people will come out and say, what the hell are you doing? So, no one is taking the risk. No one knows for certain what would be the effect of picking up Mamata Banerjee instead of merely raiding her house or lodging an FIR against her. So, if you don't know how popular she is, or if you don't know how unpopular she is, if you don't know what is going to be the reaction in the public domain, then obviously you don't touch Mamata Banerjee, you go after something else.
All right. Now, Samir wanted to say something, and then I'll come to Chandan. Samir, you wanted to make a point. You raise your hand. Yes. Very
See,
briefly. Yeah.
adding to what Shikhadi said, and there is no direct charges against Mamata Banerjee. So far, all the allegations are against her party colleagues or nephew. There is no direct charge. And if you remember, just few months before election, senior BJP leader Dilip Ghosh said, admitted this, that in an interview, that there is no corruption charges against Mamata Banerjee, and he hailed him as very popular mass leader. So that speaks, that says it's all why they are not targeting her right now.
All right. Okay. Now let me come to Chandan. Chandan, unmute yourself. How are you viewing all these developments? Abhishek Banerjee met Rahul Gandhi. Then yesterday he was interrogated for 6 hours. And what is the message which is really going out? And what is the kind of conversation which Rahul has had with Abhishek? Uh, is Congress party really going to just wait and watch the developments happen? And then probably you'll take a calculated call. Unmute yourself, Chandan.
It is surely so that this is a particular moment when we have to consider the momentum. It is somewhat, in Bengal, it's a very, very unique crisis, and that has developed. And again, I mean to say it's not a political crisis for only one party. It's a crisis on the whole for the democracy. After a month of the election, a party which was, in power with a massive mandate in 2021 had been crumbled down to zero almost, because the party has been not only split, but it has basically, took a turn. So that is where exactly the discussion is all about. Now, I mean to say, turns
Your signal is breaking, Chandan.
side.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Speak, please.
Uh, what turns Congress party, on the whole to decide about that the last meeting that was held, that we had, they had a certain, the rumor that was floated that the Congress party would merge with the Trinamool Congress, or rather the offer came. And I can tell you the situation is turning too fast towards that. But one thing is very sure, that why this particular question is arise in Bengal, where the faction which has been claiming their identity.
Chandan, the question of merger has been denied by KC Venugopal yesterday. So I'm not even bringing in this merger point now. Now that on record he said that this is a rumor, so let's take it at that.
That is what, I also mentioned, But the question is, was the prospect of Bengal, especially the prospect of Trinamool Congress here, the fraction of Mamata Banerjee. As I received information to this discussion that Mamata Banerjee wasn't the target, it is sure that she was not the direct target. But being the 3 times chief minister, all the question had been, the proposed by the camps within her party been targeted to Mamata Banerjee directly or indirectly. Ultimately, Abhishek Banerjee was nobody. And it has been proved quite clearly that after the debacle in the election, Abhishek Banerjee has been completely decimated in the party, and most of the accusations are targeted to him. And then finally, Mamata Banerjee is, I mean, they are keeping Mamata Banerjee away from there doesn't mean that Mamata Banerjee is not targeted. Because where Mamata Banerjee is still standing, and her standpoint is very clear that Abhishek Banerjee is still with her, and then the party colleagues are there, the part of the party colleagues are there with her, and the remaining parts are there. But there are two feelings that to be understood. One, Mamata Banerjee had to support Abhishek Banerjee because during the stewardship of our governance, these all corruptions which had been pointed out even by us, that had happened, the kind of nepotism, and that is what's a unique example. And moreover, there have been lot many administration malfunctioning, a kind of the corruption as we mentioned, and there had been a lot of law and order crisis being Bengal experienced during our regime. So that's not a question. The question is who had really led during the time and who had really took the turn of power into his hand. And then Abhishek Banerjee had, completely taken control, almost the mental of the Trinamool party, and then finally directed and created his own group. That's the important part. Today there may be lot of voices come up, lot of I mean to say the advisory voices come up like Ritobroto Banerjee, or there may be Kakuli goes those to that and all. But if you are going to individually dissect them, individually from Kakuli Gosida to Saini Ghosh, from Sandipan Saha, Ritobroto Banerjee to whosoever, they all had the involvement with the same kind of crime and the otherwise the patronage of the same kind of a crime, and they had allowed it. And this all happened after the election. And this all happened after the election means that they were not sure that which side of the power they would be with. And thus it had proved that who
No,
had
so does
failed
it
them.
mean,
Interesting
let me
part is who had failed them.
put up the final question to you, Chandan. Then, what does it mean then for Congress? Are you going to embrace Mamata Banerjee with whatever shortfalls you've been witnessing? Are you ready to embrace her with all those shortcomings, or you will try and maintain a distance in alliance? That okay, she'll be part of the alliance, but you will not mingle with open arms as far as Mamata Banerjee is concerned.
It is very sure that she had been the part of India bloc. And she had attended, it's not only after the debacle of party in Bengal, it had been quite a long time she had been a part of
No,
it.
but is the party
And
worried?
we had,
Is Congress, no, listen to me.
I
Is
hate
Congress
you.
worried? Is Congress worried that if you take all these tainted MPs or they merge or whatever, so far the denial has come. But if supposing if a situation arises and you all these MPs have to join Congress, will Congress allow that? Because the Congress has been accusing BJP of being a washing machine. Congress will turn into another washing machine.
Interestingly not. Interestingly not. We never own up any washing machine of such a kind, that
Hmm.
probably had invented by the BJP party itself. But the question is very clear. If you are going to demarcate this particular moment, then you find that there is a patronage. It's a direct patronage. How could Ritabrata Banerjee really make a particular team out of the grip of Mamata Banerjee and finally form this? That's one point. Who had patronized very, very, quickly their recognition came. That was one point. That had been the second point. Interestingly, that India partnership, the breakaway team of the parliamentary, the committee or the parliamentary members of TMC, they have declared that they would be joining to NDA. If they are allowed or not, that's a different thing. But NDA had petrol. BJP minister's house had been used where the chief minister attended this particular meeting of the fraction. These are
Right.
enough indications who are trying to occupy the opposition space. I try to, Nilu, I try to, I just conclude here by saying that if you remember Congress moves Bharat, it means the opposition space that the Congress has occupied all the way and almost everywhere. You find that Congress moves Bharat that links to that particular phase where the opposition space being occupied by the ruling party. This is the first time ever you can I mean, you can understand this fact. The first time ever it's happened, after Madhya Pradesh, it was a fraction. Madhya Pradesh, Jyotiraditya Scindia team was breakaway. 23 members were taken away. Fine, because that was a power towards. Then again, Uddhav Thackre's team split. That was a power towards. But here, the massive mandate the BJP has reached with. And finally, they're still trying to occupy the opposition space, is being targeted to stifle the democracy and to kill the opposition space. We have to fight out in whichsoever the party or parties that we can really fight with, or to fight with against this kind of, the stifling or strangulation of the democracy that's being tried out by the BJP party throughout the country.
All right. Right. Okay. So, very briefly, Shikha, I'll come for the concluding comments to you. How do you view the situation? Will you say that the situation within TMC is still very fluid? Monday, as what we are told, is the day when all these 19 rebel MPs, or who are part of this coup, as you said, they will be meeting Lok Sabha Speaker. Could there be a new turn of events we can expect on Monday? Or maybe even before?
Between now and Monday, you mean?
Yes.
Between now and Monday, is there anything unexpected that could happen? Well, the unexpected part of it is that, that is most interesting. We don't know what to expect, because there was a letter which was never there. There was a list which was never there. There were names that were being talked about which were never there. So what do you expect when if all expectations were actually who knows what? Were there rumors? Were there speculation? Were they gossip? What was it? We don't know. We were all chasing around like mad people around rumors. We were just chasing rumors. We weren't chasing anything that was real. So if that is the situation, then I think Monday we will have to actually see a lineup. We will have to see them going to Om Birla's room, and we will have to see Om Birla issuing their statement that Kakoli Ghosh Dostidar is the chief whip. And not only that, Kakoli Ghosh Dostidar then has to clarify whether that lot that are going into the speaker's room are going to sit in the NDR with the NDA, or are they independent, or what are they? Because they are neither fish nor fowl at this point in time.
The developments happening thick and fast, but the latest list which has come out has become a talking point. Now we'll have to wait and watch what happens between today and Monday, when all these MPs, the rebel faction MPs, meet Om Birla, or there could be some new turn of events, as what we discussed. Who knows, some more surprises? Or what if the people who've signed, the so-called signatories of the letter, what if they withdraw? They go back to Mamata Banerjee. Will that happen? Like Shatrughan Sinha, earlier his name figured, and then he gave a soundbite saying that no, he's very much there with TMC. So who knows? So lots of developments are happening behind the closed doors, but let's see what all comes out in the public domain. We'll keep a close watch on this, and we promise to get you a discussion every day on the TMC till the time the situation it doesn't become very clear. Thank you so much, Shikha Mukherjee, Samir, Chandan. Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you.